Tremaine, Demetrius Lloyd.
How long have you been working with ILS?
This is my second year with ILS.
And how long have you been in Russia?
This time, about 4 years.
Do you know any Russian phrases that you can use?
Yes, I could say something like "Добрый день" or "Извините, пожалуйста," like if I needed to ask directions or something like that.
Is it cold in Russia? In the winter?
Yes, it is cold in Russia in the winter. And I'm from Southern California, so I come from a completely different climate. But I do enjoy it at times, so it has its beauty as well.
Is there a bias against foreigners in Russia?
I think that Russians, from my experience, on the whole, many Russians are very interested in foreign cultures. I mean, we work at the International Language School, right? The language entails culture, entails history. And so I think there's a very, very keen interest in different cultures, and I think that's very, very good.
What are Russian children like?
Just like other children. I worked in Korea before I worked in Russia, and I'm an American, so I grew up in America. They all have the same basics, right? They're just kids. So they are interested in everything. They want to use a lot of energy, et cetera, et cetera. So they're just kids. Kids are kids everywhere.
What can you spend money on in Russia?
I think for me, a good thing to spend money on is traveling. Like, I mean, this is the largest country in the world. This is a very, very interesting place, and so you can take a train, an overnight train to St. Petersburg, or maybe, I don't know, go to Kazan or somewhere in Siberia, or maybe the Ural Mountains. That, to me, is a worthwhile way to spend money.
Have you been traveling a lot?
Well, I came to Russia as a traveler. I came to travel the Trans-Siberian Railway. So I traveled from Vladivostok to Moscow. That's why I came originally.
Is there anything that you lack in Russia?
Anything that I lack? There might be like, a person might have their favorite candy or something back in their home country, and they don't have it here. Maybe something like that.
Have you got any special candies that you like back home in the States?
Yes, yes. I mean, yes. There are these pies made by Hostess, and they have like blackberry and cherry. But my mother knows, and my mother from time to time sends me, sometimes she sends me boxes of things, and she is always sure to put some goodies in there.
What brands of Russian products do you like?
Okay, I'll tell you. I think there's a type of chicken that they have called pitilinka, if I'm not mistaken. And that's pretty good. I cook, I make chicken soup from time to time. And so that's a pretty good brand.
What did you forget to take with you when you moved to Russia?
What did I forget? I didn't forget anything. I took myself, and that was the most important thing. I took myself, and I took with me an open mind. And that was important. I approached Russia with an open mind. Like, some people may say this, or some people may say that about the country. Or people have different opinions about different countries in general. But I remember that I approached Russia with an open mind, and I think that was the right thing to do. So.
Are Russian people reliable and responsible?
We work in tandem, right? So you have a foreign teacher or a native, and you have a Russian teacher, and they work as a tandem. And so you're in a team, and so you work together. You communicate on what needs to be done in class, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I work with some pretty reliable and responsible people, and I'm very glad that I do. And I try to hold up my end as well. So.
Is it true that Russians don't smile?
In my opinion, it's not totally true. Some people might have come here and seen that that may have been their experience, but from my experience, I see Russians joking, laughing, smiling, so often.
How do Russians celebrate corporate events?
I think just in the way that probably most other people do. Just basically, you maybe have dinner, wear nice clothes, appropriate clothes or whatever. You know, some other things might, you might have a drink or something like that.
Do Russians drink a lot?
It depends on the person. I know some people that don't drink, some Russian people that don't even drink. So.
What is the typical rush hour in Moscow look like?
I mean, it's packed. It's people are bustling here and there. Jockeying for position to get on trains, to get off of them. It can be pretty intense. I've never seen that. I've never seen that type of intensity anywhere. And I lived in New York City, and I don't remember it being like that there. And I remember in Korea, I lived in Seoul, another very large city, and I don't think it was quite as intense as the rush hour is here.
Are you happy to be in Russia?
Yes, I think that Russia is a very interesting place. Yeah, I'm here because I want to be here. I like my job. In general, I like my job. I like where I live. Adinsov is a nice place to live. It's not far from Moscow. It's very close, but at the same time, it's away and it's quiet, so that's nice. Right now, yeah, everything is okay. I mean, knock on wood, right? Wherever the wood is, I need to knock on some wood.
I think that's it.
Is that wood? Okay. All right.
Do you like your job? Do you like your work?
Yes, I do. I like the fact that we get to work, and I mentioned this earlier, that we get to work with Russian teachers. I think that's really good, especially from the point of view of a student, because they get a Russian explaining things to them, but then they get a native speaker or a foreign speaker in the same week they get a class with a Russian, and then they get a class with a native speaker or a foreign speaker, and going into the English-speaking world, I think that is very, very advantageous for them.
Do you Russians speak well in English?
Do Russians speak well in English? I know some that speak very, very well in English. I know some that speak exceptionally well, as a matter of fact.
Are they students here?
Some of them, yes.